YouTubers, welcome to this first video from Hobbies Centrale, where we hope to do many more videos on not only stamp collecting but coin collecting, banknotes, etc. This first episode is about stamps from South Africa. As you can see here, as part of my collection, I have stamps from South Africa which details its rich cultural history. You could see stamps from architecture, stamps on flora and fauna, stamps on sports, minerals, etc. So I'm going to go through some of these stamps where you will see the rich diversity that South Africa offers as part of its philatelic heritage. Continuing with the South Africa series, you can see that we have stamps here on rugby. You have a medal, you have stamps showcasing the stagecoach era, very old South African stamps. You will see that the stamps of South Africa also have Sweet Africa, which is the old name of South Africa. You will also see the world's first triangular stamp known as the Cape of Good Hope stamp. You will see stamp showcasing architecture from a newspaper, honoring a newspaper, the mineral series, flowers, landscape, animals, technology. South Africa also showcases its vibrant technology. You have stamps also showcasing the Red Cross. The stamps from the Republic of South Africa really show the diversity that they are proud of, and it makes for fantastic collecting as part of a country collection. So continuing with our South African stamp series, you will find that this particular section contains stamps showcasing microbiology, the winery of South Africa, which has become quite famous. So we have South African wines which are on par with, let's say, countries like France, Australia, Chile, etc. Social messaging, where conservation of water, continuation of the plant series, stamps even showcasing sports like Formula 1. The flora and fauna of South Africa is well documented on the stamps, like you see the gazelles, the cranes, famous personalities, transportation, aviation history, etc. So there's a broad variety, as you can see from this selected. Some of the older stamps of South Africa which show the royal persons being highlighted on the stamps here as well. Maritime history, South Africa being a strategic point for the trade routes to the entire world almost. So quite a fascinating set this. Yeah, so here we see some of the heritage sites of South Africa. We see the early explorations of South Africa stamp. This particular stamp showcases the date of issue with the edges intact, seen from a play, I guess. Famous personalities of South Africa, the flora of South Africa, and you have stamps showcasing buildings, the series. South Africa is really proud of its architecture, as you will see showcased on many of the stamps. Like I mentioned before, maritime being a proud and an important part of South African economy. You see stamps on ships be showcased. The fauna part of it is there indicated as part of that chameleon stamp that you can see. Futuristic, looking forward to the future, stamps involving technology. Indeed, so you could see many stamps from South Africa. This particular stamp showcases the diamond industry of South Africa. You all know about the famous Kimberley diamond that was found in the South Africa diamond mines, right? Stamps showing the older part of South Africa, when you will see the SWA, which stands for Southwest Africa. It's an overprint stamp showing the royal family, showing turtles of South Africa. So many such stamps from South Africa make South Africa a very good country to start collecting if you are moving on to a country collection. Continuing with the South African series, as you would have guessed by now, there are people who also collect topically, right? When you collect a particular country's stamps, for a topical collector, many of their particular stamps would get covered automatically. Let's take, for example, this particular selection, right, of stamps. You will see stamps on trains, so people who collect stamps on locomotives. Uh, if you have doubles, you might want to trade that with them. This particular stamp you see is not only showcasing locomotives but also showcases cartography. People who collect stamps involving maps. You would have stamps, for example, on maritime. You have stamps on ships and boats. The people who collect that. Uh, Bridges. People who collect bridge stamps on bridges. Maybe they are an engineer or they have somebody in the family who's an engineer. You have stamps showcasing uh, different types of uses of water, right? Or you would have stamps on birds, the different types of avian stamps that are out there. For a younger collector who likes sports, stamps involving sports such as this on South Africa. So we all do know that South Africa actually hosted one of the FIFA World Cups, right? So that is one. Let's say if you have somebody who's in a medical profession field, want to collect stamps involving medicine, surgery, breakthrough in medicine, stuff like that. So you see, collecting stamps not only educates you but relieves stress, but is a great source of inspiration when you can showcase these to the younger generation. So here we will see stamps from South Africa showcasing the diversity in the form of culture and dance. Uh, we see stamps showcasing the wildlife. You see a stamp of boar, and it shows the population of the boar in the country of South Africa, the district or the area where we have the concentration of that. Maritime, utensils, architecture involving modern buildings, maritime in the form of ships. Of course, we've already seen numerous examples of stamps of South Africa showcasing plants, right? Uh, then you have stamps showcasing the rhinoceros. I do have a friend of mine that collects only rhinoceroses, so that's an example of that. One thing that I wanted to point out was South Africa also has these quaint, very little stamps. I find that very appealing because given this day where you have stamps having larger sizes, these smaller stamps also are quite a collector's item. You have stamps which showcase the entire preamble to the Constitution. So that's a piece of history that right there on that stamp. We have stamps showcasing lighthouses. Lighthouses are a favorite topic for uh, some of the topical collectors of the ATA, the American Topical Association. There is quite a range and variety of stamps here that come from RSA or the Republic of South Africa. Yeah, so onward with South Africa, you will see the first stamp of South Africa issued the triangular stamp. And I also want to show you this particular stamp, which is an original of that very first stamp. It's one of the rarer ones that I have of South Africa, indeed, much sought after by many collectors that specialize in South African stamps. This particular selection that you currently see here showcases different things like you can see stamps showcasing coinage. You can see stamps on famous personalities, of course, the royal family, right? You will see stamps that showcase South African maritime, part of the Big Four. The lion is part of the Big Four. You also have the elephant and the hippo and the rhinoceros, etc., as part of that, bisons as part of that. So this selection of South African stamps showcase not only the modern but also the older parts. You see Transkei, for example, is one of the older provinces that later came together. And you see stamps that show South Africa as Sweet Africa, overprint stamps, stamps from the Red Cross, right? So, yeah, that makes for a very, very interesting pastime, South African stamps, which is part one of other series that I hope to bring out country-wise. Okay, so this is the last section of South African stamps that I want to highlight to you. Whilst you are feasting your eyes and going through this collection, I would urge you and request you to like, comment, share, offer us your feedback as to what you think about this series, how we can make it better, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you always stay on top when new videos are released. You get it into your inbox right away. So with that, this is Hobbies Centrale signing off. Happy collecting.